Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
1. Introduction. The food system in the United States is very big and complex. People can find many kinds of food easily. There are big supermarkets and many restaurants on every street. This means that people have many choices every day. However, choosing what to eat well can be very difficult. Food is everywhere and it is quick to buy. This modern situation where food is always available is new in human history. Eating well is important for the body to feel good and strong. But today, the choices are not simple. Many foods look healthy on the package but are not. Other foods are very cheap and easy to get, but they do not help the body stay strong. People often eat quickly because they are busy with work and life. They do not always have time to cook fresh meals at home. This mix of convenience, low cost, and quick availability makes dietary choices hard for many people in the country. It is about understanding the whole system that puts the food there. We need to look at the results of these food choices. In the United States, many people have health problems related to their diet. These problems include being overweight or having issues with the heart and blood pressure. Statistics show that diseases related to food are very common here. This is a serious situation that affects millions of people. These numbers tell us that something about the food system needs to be better understood. When people eat food that does not have enough good things, like vitamins and minerals, the body cannot work well over a long period of time. The goal of this lesson is important. It is not to say that certain foods are bad or that people make wrong choices. We want to explore the systems. We will study the big systems that control what we eat daily. This includes how companies make food in factories, how they advertise and sell food to us, and why some foods are much cheaper than others. We will look closely at portion sizes, the hidden use of sugar, and the role of fast food restaurants. Understanding these large systems helps us understand why making healthy food choices is so difficult in the modern world. The modern world gives us much food that is easy to eat. We need energy to live and work. But the kind of food we eat matters greatly for long-term health. We must learn about the food environment. This environment includes the big shops, the advertisements, and the money used to grow crops. It is a big puzzle with many moving pieces. Over the next 8 chapters, we will look at these pieces one by one. This knowledge is the first step toward making better decisions for the body. 2. The normal diet. Many doctors and scientists look at how people in the United States eat. They gave this way of eating a special name, the standard American diet. People often use the initials, which are SAD. This name is fitting because the diet often causes problems. What does this diet look like? It often includes many meals with red meat like beef. Dairy products such as milk, cheese, and butter are also very common. Many foods are cooked using deep frying methods, which adds a lot of fat. In contrast, the SAD often includes very few vegetables, fruits, or whole grains. This lack of balance is a major issue. The biggest challenge with this standard diet is the mix of energy and nutrients. The food is full of calories. Calories are the measure of energy that food gives the body. When a diet is high in calories, the body gets the energy it needs to move and work. However, the food often has very low levels of important things like vitamins and minerals. These are called nutrients. Think of it like a car. The car needs gasoline, which is like calories, to drive, but it also needs oil and other fluids, which are like nutrients, to keep the engine healthy. If you only put gasoline in the car, the engine will break down over time. Similarly, the standard American diet gives the body plenty of fuel but not enough building blocks to stay strong and healthy. This imbalance causes a strange reaction in the body. When a person eats too many calories, the body stores the extra energy as fat. This leads to weight gain. But even though the person has gained weight, their body still feels hungry. Why? Because the body is smart. It knows it has enough energy, but it is still looking for the vitamins and minerals that the food did not provide. The body keeps sending hunger signals until it gets those missing nutrients. Therefore, people can eat large amounts of food and still feel unsatisfied at a deeper biological level. Understanding the difference between high-calorie food and high-nutrient food is the first step in understanding the typical American diet. 3. Very big meals. If you visit the United States, you might see something surprising. The food portions are very big. Restaurants serve huge meals. Sometimes one meal is enough for 2 or 3 people. This is often true even for simple things like sandwiches or salads. This tradition of large meals is very different from many other countries around the world. For example, in countries like Japan or France, the plates are much smaller. They focus on eating less food at one time. A regular meal there might be half the size of a regular meal in the US. Even drinks are different. A small soda in America might be a large soda somewhere else. This idea of supersizing food and drinks is common, especially in fast food places. Many restaurants offer value meals to customers. This means you can get much more food for only a little more money. For example, you can pay $1 extra to get a bigger plate of fries and a much larger soda. This is called supersizing. Because the price difference is small, people often choose the biggest option. They feel like they are getting a great deal. They buy the bigger size even if they know they cannot finish it or if they are not very hungry. When a plate is full of food, most people feel they must finish it. This is a strong, common habit that starts early in life. It feels wasteful to leave food behind. If a restaurant gives you a very big plate, you will probably eat a very big meal. This teaches the body to expect a large amount of food every time a person sits down to eat. This constant serving of huge portions changes what people think a normal meal looks like. This is known as portion distortion. Over time, people forget what a standard, healthy serving size is supposed to be. They might believe a huge bowl of pasta or a giant burrito is just a regular serving. If they see a smaller, healthier plate, it looks too small. They feel like they did not get enough food, even if they ate enough calories. These very big meals cause people to eat many extra calories every day without realizing it. 4. Food from factories. Many meals in the United States are not made at home in a kitchen. Instead, they are made in very large buildings called factories. This type of food is known as ultra-processed food. It is very different from cooking fresh ingredients like meat and vegetables. Think about a fresh meal you cook versus a box of sugary cereal or a frozen pizza. One is simple, and one is made by large machines. Ultra-processed foods often include many snacks, fast food items, and ready-to-eat meals found in the supermarket aisles. Companies that make this food need it to last a long time. They want the product to sit on the store shelf for many months without going bad. To achieve this, companies add chemicals. These chemicals are called preservatives. Preservatives stop the food from spoiling quickly. This long shelf life is helpful for stores, but it means the food is not fresh. These items often have 20 or 30 ingredients that a home cook would never use. Food scientists often work in laboratories, not kitchens. They do not just cook food, they engineer it. They study how people like to eat and then create specific textures and flavors. For example, they make potato chips perfectly crunchy. They make soft drinks taste extremely sweet. They use specific combinations of salt, sugar, and fat to make the food highly appealing. This engineering is done so the product tastes exactly the same every single time you buy it. This consistency makes people trust the brand and want to buy it again and again. The most important part of ultra-processed food is how it affects the body's signals. When a person eats a fresh piece of fruit or a simple meal, the body sends signals to the brain. These signals tell the brain, "I am full now, stop eating." Ultra-processed foods can trick this system. Because the food is often soft and very easy to chew, we eat it very quickly. The engineered flavors and chemicals confuse the brain. The food gives the body many calories, but few actual vitamins or minerals. Even after eating a large package of chips or a bowl of sugary cereal, the body may still feel hungry for nutrients. The brain thinks it has received enough energy, but the body knows it is missing important things like fiber and vitamins. This makes people feel hungry again soon after eating. This cycle of eating high-calorie, low-nutrient food is a big problem. People eat more and more, but they never feel truly satisfied. This shows the difference between food made in a factory and food grown on a farm. 5. Sugar in many places. Sugar is very common in the American food supply. Everyone knows that things like candy and cookies have a lot of sugar. However, sugar is also found in many foods that do not taste sweet. This is surprising for many people who try to eat healthy meals. You can find added sugar in many different grocery items. Look closely at the food labels on packaged bread. Look at the labels on canned soup and pre-made pasta sauce. Even salad dressing and some types of peanut butter often have added sweeteners. These foods are not desserts, but they still contain sugar. Food companies use sugar because it is a flavor enhancer. It makes packaged food taste better and helps it last longer on the shelf. The United States often uses a special sweetener called high fructose corn syrup. This syrup is made from corn, which is a very common crop in the country. The government supports corn farming, so corn is cheap to buy. This means that high fructose corn syrup is also very cheap to produce in large amounts. Because it is so inexpensive, food companies use it instead of regular cane sugar. They can make their products taste sweet without spending much money. This is why you see it listed on so many food packages, from soft drinks to ketchup. It is important to know the difference between natural sugar and added sugar. Natural sugar is found inside whole foods like apples or oranges. When you eat an apple, you also get fiber and vitamins. Added sugar is put into food during the manufacturing process. When you eat processed food, you only get the extra sweetener and few nutrients. Health experts recommend that adults limit their daily intake of added sugar. These are called daily recommendations. For example, one single can of soda can contain 10 or more teaspoons of sugar. Because sugar is hidden in savory foods like soup, crackers, and sauces, tracking the total amount becomes very difficult. People often eat much more sugar than they should without even realizing it. They might think they are having a healthy lunch, but the soup, bread, and dressing all have extra sugar. This extra sugar adds up very quickly. Learning to read the list of ingredients is the only way to find all the hidden sweeteners. 6. Fast food and time. Americans often work very hard. Many jobs require long hours every day. When people finish their long workday, they are very tired. They do not have much energy left to do other things. Cooking a healthy dinner takes time and effort. It takes time to go to the store, buy the food, wash the vegetables, and cook the meal. For many people, this is too much work after a difficult day. Because time is short, people look for quick solutions for dinner. Fast food is the most common quick solution. Fast food restaurants are very easy to find. They are often on every major road and street corner in American cities and towns. This makes choosing fast food very simple. It is always much faster than cooking dinner at home. The United States is a country built for driving. Most people use cars to travel everywhere they go, even for short distances. Fast food companies have adapted to this lifestyle. They created the drive-through window system. A customer can order food, pay for it, and receive it without ever leaving the car. This system saves a lot of time. Many busy people often eat their entire meal while sitting in the car, driving between places, or waiting in traffic. This lack of time is a major factor in choosing quick meals. If a parent has only 30 minutes between leaving work and taking children to a sports practice, they need to eat quickly. A meal cooked from fresh ingredients is not possible in this short amount of time. Fast food seems like the best choice because it is fast, easy, and offers a lot of calories quickly. However, this speed and convenience have a negative cost to health. Fast food meals are usually very high in unhealthy fats, added sugar, and a large amount of salt. Furthermore, when people eat in their cars, they are sitting still. They are not walking or moving their bodies. This combination of unhealthy, fatty food and low physical movement is not good for the body. It can especially harm the heart over time. The easy access and speed of these restaurants make it very difficult for people to choose the healthier options. The ubiquity of fast food chains has changed the way millions of people eat every day. The modern American schedule prioritizes speed over nutrition. 7. Money and shops. We must understand how money influences what people eat. For many families, the price of food is the most important thing. Fresh fruits and vegetables are often expensive. They cost more money than snacks that come in a bag or a box. Look at the price of one fresh apple compared to a small bag of chips. The chips are usually cheaper. This is why a lot of people choose the cheaper food. The cost difference comes from government decisions. The government gives money to farmers to grow huge amounts of certain crops. This money is called a subsidy. The main crops that receive this money are corn and soy. Because the farmers receive government money, they can sell corn and soy very cheaply. Food companies use these cheap ingredients to make many different processed foods. Think about corn syrup, corn oil, and soy additives. They are everywhere in packaged food. This makes ultra-processed meals very cheap to produce and sell. It costs much less for a restaurant to sell a burger and fries, which rely on subsidized ingredients, than to sell a fresh salad with fish. People with less money often choose the cheapest food, which is usually the less healthy option. However, the cost is not the only problem. Where a person lives also matters greatly. Some neighborhoods in the United States are called food deserts. These areas do not have large grocery stores or supermarkets nearby. If you live in a food desert, you might not be able to find fresh food close to your home. Imagine needing milk or bread, but the closest place to buy food is a gas station or a small convenience store. These stores mainly sell packaged goods like soda, candy, and chips. They rarely have fresh meat, vegetables, or fruit. They focus on items that can stay on the shelf for a long time. If you do not own a car, or if you cannot take the bus easily, you cannot travel far away to a big supermarket. You must rely on the few shops in your neighborhood. For people in food deserts, choosing healthy food is almost impossible. They must choose between driving far away for fresh food or buying cheap, processed food quickly at the corner store. This situation shows how both money and location make the standard American diet common. When healthy choices are expensive and difficult to find, the easier, cheaper choice wins. This system creates a difficult situation for millions of people trying to eat better. 8. Selling food to kids. Food companies want people to buy their products. They spend many billions of dollars every year on advertising. A large part of this advertising targets children. Companies know that if a child wants a certain snack, the parents will often buy it. They use special tricks to get a child's attention. Look at the boxes of sugary cereals and snacks in the supermarket. They use very bright colors, often red, yellow, and orange. These colors are exciting for children. The companies also put famous cartoons or friendly animals on the boxes. This makes the food look fun, not just like food. These boxes are often placed lower on the shelves. This way, the children can see them easily when they walk by. Food companies create an emotional link between the fun character and the food item. This is a very strong way to sell products. Another problem is confusing labels. When you look at the front of a food package, you might see big words. These words are meant to make the food seem healthy. For example, a package might say, made with real fruit or natural. It might also say low fat or good source of vitamins. These words sound good. However, they do not always tell the full story. A product labeled low fat might actually have a lot of added sugar to make it taste better. If the fat is removed, the flavor is lost, so the company adds sugar to compensate. A product labeled natural might still have many processed ingredients or high amounts of salt. Companies use these words because they are legal, but they can trick the consumer, especially parents trying to make good choices for their families. It is important not to believe only what the front of the package says. To truly know what you are eating, you must read the back of the package. This is where the nutrition facts are printed. The law requires companies to list the ingredients in order. The first ingredients are the ones that are in the food the most. If sugar or corn syrup is listed as one of the first 3 ingredients, the product is likely very high in sugar. The nutrition facts panel also shows the amount of calories, fat, salt, sodium, and added sugar per serving. Learning how to read this information is important. It helps families understand the true nutritional value of the food they buy, stopping the power of bright colors and confusing words. This way, people can choose foods that are truly healthy, not just foods that look healthy.